Clifford J. Scott High School. Growing up in Newark, there's one thing that your mama always wanted you to do: survive high school. Once I graduated from Speedway, then Marcus Garvey, then Camden Middle, I was headed to West Side. My mother said no. She gonna use her sister address to send me to East Orange. Now, what's crazy about East Orange is before you get to East Orange, when you're from Newark, there was these little silly little things that people in Newark would say about East Orange that you thought was true. Why would you think they was true? Because everybody said it. That's why. One of the things they said that was crazy, they said all the boys from East Orange was punks. Then they said all the girls from East Orange had herpes. Then they said the girls that was from Montclair, hoes. I go over to this high school with this thing in my head, and it is the dumbest, the furthest from the truth, because guess what? Everybody ain't no punk nowhere you go on this planet, all right? Number two, some of the girls were the most beautiful in East Orange, and you find out later that herpes was the actual STD, so how everybody got it. And Montclair had some of the most gorgeous girls, and then their parents had money up there, so that was like the bourgeoisie, Montclair. When the girls came to school from there, was I'm just saying. Going to that school was like stepping into the high school version of a different world. Everybody had their own styles. I remember the polo team, and this was a group of cats. They used to wear polo shirts, pants, and jackets, and you think there was a billboard for the brand Polo. Come to find out later that some of them cats was boosting. In case you don't know what boosting is, that is when you go to the mall and you actually steal things without purchasing it, put it in a bag fast as possible, and get in your hell how to die. But the polo team used to could dance, they used to could rap. I mean, they had their whole swag. Then you had those good-looking girls. You had these different crews, different girls that looked good. Like you had your bourgeoisie, which was kind of like the mixed girls. You had like your Maria and your Laila and all of them over there. They was like the light-skinned crew, and some of them were mixed, and you was like, ooh. Then you look over this way, and then you had your beautiful hood chicks that was rocking Gucci, Prada, Fendi, everything. Good looking. Like you had your Jamila and Constance and Mutahana and then Little Tanya, and they was rocking stuff from Brooklyn. Like Dawn used to come in there with the Gucci boots and the Gucci this, and I mean, I'm talking about like a straight up salt and pepper video. This was like high school. You had the dancing crew that partied and went to New York, and they came back with all the latest dances and the haircut, like shoeing them and the face. I mean, you thought they was in the rap group with Kid and Play or something, the way they looked. They looked like somebody was ready to take a picture and put them in the rap magazine ASAP. And then we had this beautiful black principal, Miss Nickel. And she was more like an auntie than like a principal. No, this was an auntie. She calling your mama and your parents ASAP, but she also gave you good advice to try to keep you on track. The track team was the bomb. The band was the bomb. The talent shows was off the chain. I mean, you would think it was like a Howard University high school or something. A lot of black goodness came up out of it, as well as East Orange High and a few others. Then you had your boys like myself who was from Newark, who really didn't live in East Orange, but we got bused. We would catch that 90 Grove going 45 minutes across to go to school in the morning, or we would catch a bus all the way downtown and then another bus all the way up. So it took us over an hour just to get to school. And because we weren't from that neighborhood, we always get into some type of altercation with people who was from that neighborhood. Now, me personally, I never really started beefs because I was on that people person, fly, haircut, crazy looking gear. I used to have pants with bus passes going down the side of my leg. And now my cousin Boom, on the other hand, he had to let people know that he was from Newark, and why? Because he said so. So I remember one time, we were leaving school and we were just going downtown, and next thing you know, it was like 6, 7 brothers got on the bus. They walking up to my cousin ready to jump him. So I'm looking at him like, yo, what's up? So they all get on the bus and they start walking down the bus. They come all the way to the end, and right before they start throwing some blows, who gonna stand up? This fool right here gonna stand up. Hey, yo, what's up? Hey, yeah, yo, what's up? So now the energy shifts from my cousin, and they like, who this nigga? I'm like, yeah, that's my cuz. Like, yo, what's going on? So the bus driver said a little something, y'all get off the bus with that, blah, blah, blah. So that ended the day. So they got off the bus and everything, and then I asked my cousin, I said, yo, what's up? What's going on? This boy gonna tell me, yeah, I call his sister a B. But why? Yeah, because I just felt like, huh? What? Bruh, we about to get whole jumped because you want to call somebody a B, bruh? Fast forward, I come to school the next day. It's a regular day to me. I'm like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. This dude walk up to me. I think his name was Brian. Put his arms around my shoulder, and he like, yeah, what's up with that from yesterday? So I'm sitting here like, oh, it's about to be a little jumpery early in the morning. So I'm looking at him like, I don't even know you. As I look around, I start to see it's a few brothers just waiting. They like, yeah, we about to set it off on this fool. But because I was from Newark, one thing that we do is we go to a high school, we make alliances with our other Newark brothers. So I look over and I see my boy Sherrod. People know him as bow-legged Sherrod, and his cousin is Dave McKinney and then Shelton. So I'm like, yo. So they look over there. They could tell something was going on. They come over to me. They like, yo, what's up? He take the boy Brian's hand off my shoulder. What's up, man? What you doing? He's like, yo, this my peoples. So now the energy has flipped. Now I got two of the rowdiest Scotties ready to roll on the local Scotties, and it's about to be a whole brawl. So I'm like, okay. It all died down. It was like, yo, this is my peoples. You ain't gonna do nothing to my peoples. And blah, 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 blah. But the point was, that wasn't even my beef. I had nothing to do with that. Clifford J. Scott used to have the bomb parties. They used to be in the cafeteria. We used to hear all the music. Nobody beats the biz. Jack your body. That was the first place I ever had a potato chip sandwich. They used to have these butter rolls, man, and used to take the barbecue chips and crunch them up. You actually had a potato chip hoagie. Sugar cookies used to be the bomb. It was the first place I ever met Naughty by Nature. They was called The New Style. We was in a talent show together. They came in with these green Nike suits on. I mean, Sky used to be lit. If you didn't have a car, there was a certain type of girl you just was not getting in, Sky. Nope. I remember we used to have a dance. It was the cameos against the Afro. Clifford J. Scott was the bomb. Shout out to all my Scotty dogs. And the next time y'all have a reunion, class 9D, holla at your boy, because I'm coming through. Let's go.